Siddaramaiah has just said, Muslim populated, if there is a major Muslim population, then the teachers must know Urdu and they should be proficient in it.
At the same point of time, when you are making it mandatory, when you are imposing Urdu, there can be a backlash. Just like if you are imposing Hindi in Tamil Nadu, there can be a backlash. When you are imposing Urdu, mandating it, you can inspire a language. You inspire people to learn.
Is there a vote bank politics also attached to it? How people will respond to it?
Urdu is a great language. Arabic is a great language. Sanskrit is a great language. Tamil is a great language. It is less about languages and more about the intention which is behind it. And if people are suspecting, if there is a vote bank politics, if there is an appeasement politics, they cannot be blamed.
How will it impact the people who are looking for jobs, who want to become government teachers?
These language shouldn't be imposed, shouldn't be thrust upon, or shouldn't be thrust down the throat of any state for that matter.
Hello and welcome. I'm Nagen Singh. This is One India. And today we are joined by Rahul Easwar. He is an activist. He is also an author. And Rahul, today we are going to ask you about Karnataka government, what Siddaramaiah has just said. He's saying that all these Anganwadi teachers who are part of the Karnataka government, if they're working in an area that is Muslim populated, if there is a major Muslim population, significant Muslim population, then the teachers must know Urdu and they should be proficient in it. So how do you see this step in a state which is, Kannadas are there, Kannada is being spoken there, and now this new rule or this sort of comment, how do you rate it? What do you see? Is there an agenda, or how do you rate this entire conversation?
Two submissions. First of all, we as a nation have decided to follow three-language policy in the earlier 50s and 60s itself, where we will learn our native language, whether it be Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, or whatever language. Then we will have Hindi as a national link language, which Mahatma Gandhi visualized. Then we will have English as a global language. So it's very good to know more languages, but when somebody is mandating something, it becomes a matter of problem. For example, in Mudigere and Chikkamagaluru, where these spaces where they have decided to enforce it, it is around 31.94% Muslim community population. So this can create some kind of a fissure in the social fabric where some suspicion will be raised. And what about the other 70% is a natural question people will ask. You can definitely say Urdu is a beautiful language. Even though I'm not a scholar, I know a bits of Urdu and I've heard a lot of qawwalis in it. I'm a huge fan of Urdu or the shairis in it. At the same point of time, when you are making it mandatory, when you are imposing Urdu, there can be a backlash. Just like if you are imposing Hindi in Tamil Nadu, there can be a backlash. When you are imposing Urdu, mandating it, you can inspire a language. You inspire people to learn. That's the reason why Mahatma Gandhi sent his son across to my home state, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, almost 100 years back, to inspire us to learn Hindi more. He started Hindi Prachara Sabhas. I would request Siddaramaiah-ji to start Urdu Prachara Sabhas or Urdu community clubs and allocate resources and funds to it. But making it mandatory can create a problem. Rather, we should be focusing on promoting a classic language called Kannada, which is a beautiful language, one of the ancient Dravidian languages we have. We should be focused on promoting Tamil, which is one of the oldest languages in the world, rightly pointed out by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. So this move can backfire, this move can cause suspicion, this move can cause fissures among communities itself.
And especially in a state like Karnataka, where people speak Kannada, and then Hindi is also something that people resisted. And instead of Hindi, asking for Urdu as a language to be given priority. So will this really bring a clash among people, among the Karnatakis who would have this question for sure, that why, if we are not even pro-Hindi in that way, then why Urdu suddenly, becoming a big... is there a vote bank politics also attached to it? How people will respond to it?
See, let us be very honest about it. We are a pluralistic nation. We should be as inclusive as possible. Hindu, Muslim, Christian unity or non-believers unity should definitely be there. That's a given. I mean, there is no debate about that. We should have that unity. At the same point of time, that unity should not come at the cost of one community or at the cost of over pampering of one community. For example, as per 2011 census, nearly 10.83% of Karnataka is speaking Urdu as their mother tongue. See, they definitely have a good speaking, Urdu speaking. They can learn from their home. They can learn from their languages. Shouldn't the government be promoting Kannada as a common language for people who are in Karnataka? And there have been even protests. Even when the Hindi signboards came, there has been hardline Karnataka groups, which I respectfully differ. They have been smashing the Hindi boards. They have been blackening the Hindi boards. So when even Hindi, which is a national language, even promoted by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, has such kind of a backlash, imposing Urdu or mandating Urdu can become an issue. That's the reason why Urdu is a great language, Arabic is a great language, Sanskrit is a great language, Tamil is a great language. It is less about languages and more about the intention which is behind it. And if people are suspecting, if there is a vote bank politics, if there is an appeasement politics, they cannot be blamed.
Exactly. Like, if this is the mandate that they have given, if they make it mandatory in that sense, how will it impact the people who are looking for jobs, the people of Karnataka? If this is one of the rules that is brought in, how will it impact the people who are looking for jobs, who want to become government teachers?
See, let us be very honest about this. See, English is not our language. It is because the British won the world that we were forced to learn English. Had the Germans and the Nazis won the world, we may have learned German, or we may have learned Spanish or Portuguese or Dutch. But right now, English is a global reality, which is an absolute need. When we take a Zoom meeting, it is written in English that it is a Zoom meeting. So let us
Yeah.
understand the reality of the world. Second, yes, we need to have a cultural connect. We need to have roots. Of course, in our own personal homes, for example, I'm a person who has learned up Sanskrit when I grew up. But that was not mandated. It was given to me in my home setting. Similarly, such Urdu can be inspired in our Muslim community, Muslim brothers' homes. They can definitely teach and inspire. But when a state officially decides to impose it and make it, that definitely will become an issue. Obviously, if people are criticizing it, they cannot be blamed. That's the reason why Kannada should be promoted in Karnataka, where Kannada language, the great Lord Basaveshwara or Basavanna as we call, so many other cultural icons are there. So Kannada literature should be promoted. Urdu is there. Telugu speaking population is around 8% there. We Malayalis, I'm from Kerala. We Malayalis are around say 2% there. Hardly a bit of Marathi speaking there. So if tomorrow, unfortunately or fortunately, a Malayalam speaking space comes, will you mandate that Malayalam you should absolutely learn Malayalam to become a Anganwadi teacher, or say Kodua, or Kongani? So please remember, these language shouldn't be imposed, shouldn't be thrust upon, or shouldn't be thrust down the throat of any state for that matter.
You think there will be a massive outrage because of this? Because ultimately it's going to impact the job opportunities of the locals or the people with the domicile that they have, the Karnatakis. So do you think there can be a major protest or
And
a major outrage?
I hope people resist to these things, and I would request our Muslim brothers to also come forward and give a position, saying that we can teach our own kids in our own homes. We are also teaching them Kannada. We are also making them learn English, because these are all realities. When we come to Bangalore, we know a bit of Kannada, because that is how the local flavor is. So I would request them not to fall into these kind of appeasement kind of a stuff. Rather, say, what do we actually need? We actually need schools. We actually need more of Anganwadis. We actually need English education, which is a must for the modern world. We actually need schools. So give them something solid, not hand out some kind of a dole, hand out some kind of a trivia, so that you can be wooed in one sense or the other. I hope, please please learn about the Kannada history. Please learn this more. Please remember that this is a must. Urdu should not come at the cost of Kannada. I mean, and that's a given. Urdu should not be coming at the cost of Kannada, because we are living, or they are living in Karnataka. The language of the land is very important, just like the law of the land, because language conveys a culture. That language of the land is absolutely needed. And one example I can give, in Kerala, we are having around 27% Muslim community. They are happy to learn both Arabic in their homes and celebrate Malayalam in a great way. We have Mappala Ramayanam. Mappala Ramayanam basically means, in Malayalam, Ramayana is translated by Muslim scholars into Malayalam and all. So that synergy should be there. So please remember, these are very sensitive topics. I hope politicians will definitely take care of the sensitivity before implementing any kind of policy like this.
Also, when we talk about Congress is blamed for their Muslim appeasement politics. For so many times, so many years, it has continued. But now, if Rahul Gandhi talks about, that we all should be united and the Mohabbat ki dukan and everything, then why just one community or just one language becomes a barrier for so many? As you rightly said, that the population is much lesser than what we can think of, and instead of that, they want a rule which is only for a very small population. So, how do you see Congress? They haven't changed at all. It is continuing even after 75 years.
Panditji, the interesting thing is the greatest congressman ever, Mahatma Gandhi, was ready to die for Hindu unity. And especially today is September 25th. Yesterday, nearly 100 years back, Pune Pact was signed, where Mahatma Gandhi said, I will die, but I will not let Hindus be divided. Pune Pact was the base of the further reservation policy and all of Indian government, where the Dalit, the Brahmin, the other Hindu communities were brought together in the Yerwada jail in Pune. And Mahatma Gandhi said, we are not going to be divided, and I will only allow Hindu community to be divided over the dead body. But over the years, because of a vote bank consideration, many Congress leaders have moved to far left or moved to extreme left. The Tukde gangs, people who celebrate saying that India ki barbadi is no issue or any abusive. So I hope Modi ji is taking a center-right Gandhian like. Modi ji, as we can all see, is always taking a statesmanly approach. He is trying to be as inclusive and pluralistic as possible, pointing out to his Muslim friend Abbas. See, that is the line we need. We need integration. We need a coming together. We shouldn't need appeasement. There is a huge difference between assimilation and appeasement. There is a huge difference between coming together as one people or uniting as one people and having some kind of, yes, there are instances of Islamophobia or instances of anti-Muslim hatred, not only in India, world over. We need to address that. Our greatest president is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Right now, before we were speaking, we were planning to celebrate October 15th. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam lived away. Our greatest president was a Muslim. The Bharat Mata Ki Jai slogan was given by a Muslim, and Jai Hind was given by Abid Hassan of alienate. So we celebrate that. But please remember, integrate more, come together as Indians more is what we need along with pluralism. So I request Congress to remember Sardar Patel, to remember Mahatma Gandhi, to remember the great nationalistic icons who stood and balanced the nationalistic interest plus minority interest. That's the balance. We need nationalistic interest on one hand. Modi ji said this beautifully. You should have Holy Quran on one hand and Constitution on the other hand. You need to have computer on one hand and the Quran on the other hand. That is the integration that we need.
Right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.